Hi, this is Steve from appsplanation.com, and this is a tutorial on the application Flipboard. So what is Flipboard? Well, Flipboard is a service, and it pulls news and information from different sources, and then it reformats that information so it all displays the same. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, first we'll think about different kinds of information that we'll be getting. First off, there would be information from publishers, and this could be magazines like GQ, People, Esquire, things like that. Newspapers like the New York Times or the LA Times, or maybe even just your local newspaper. And then of course you have, probably tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of different news websites that you could access. So it's going to pull information from those as well. And it's also going to pull information from social media sources, and that could be Facebook, that could be Twitter, Tumblr, things like Instagram, stuff like that. So why do we want to do this? Well, simplicity. Speeds things up quite a bit when everything displays exactly the same and everything you can navigate exactly the same. The example I use is, imagine if every car had the gas tank on the same side. So every car ever made, the gas tank was always on the right side. So every time you pulled into a gas station, you knew exactly which side it was in, just intuitively. And also every hood release on every car seems to be different too. So they all, some you have to put your hand through the grill, some you have to reach under the hood and then push down, and there's just dozens of different ways you can release a hood. So wouldn't it be great if they all did it exactly the same way? So that's what Flipboard is doing to information. It reorganizes it so it looks the same regardless of where it is coming from. So in this example, let's say you click through on a news article to a website, and of course you've got a headline up here, photo over here, photo over there, maybe some text here, some text there, and different news websites might display all this stuff in a slightly different order. Certainly, clicking through to the next page or moving back and forth and doing different things is probably going to be different on every single website, and it's going to have, the links are going to look different. One might say forward or back, one might say previous next, one might just use icons that you may or may not recognize. And most websites you have advertising just plastered all over the place too, that makes it even harder to navigate or to understand exactly where you are in a given article. So what Flipboard does is just organizes everything kind of in a straight up and down line. And so every article it pulls, it doesn't change any of the information, but it reorganizes it. So every article is going to have a headline and summary to start. If there's a photo in there, it'll probably throw one of those in there next. And then some of the text of the article, and then maybe another photo, and then some more text. And each one of these is a page, and you just sort of flip up and down through the pages to look through the article. So you've got one format for all instead of a different look from each source. And it really makes accessing different news sources a much more pleasurable experience than it usually is. So you can select a single source. So for instance, you just want to look at People magazine, you can just select that as a source, or your local newspaper. Or you can select actually a subject, and that will pull information about that subject from multiple sources. So before example, we were talking about cars. So if you're interested in cars, you can create a feed or a channel, if you will. You can describe it either way, that just contains the subject matter cars, and it'll pull that from multiple news sources, from magazines, newspapers, and stuff like that. So really powerful way to keep on top of the information that you're interested in. And we'll get in how to operate the application next. And This is a beginner's level video, so we're going to go through some very basic things on this. If you just want a real quick primer on it, you're pretty good at using applications, then look for the quick start video. It's going to move a lot faster and just get you the information you need straight off without trying to explain everything to you. Also, this is running on an iPhone 5. It's also going to operate exactly the same on an iPod Touch. The iPad version, though, is different. So it operates kind of on the same concept, but it's not going to, the navigation isn't exactly the same. So I'll do a separate video for the iPad version and check that out if that's what you're viewing this video on, or that's what you're going to be using the application on. So to start, we're going to download it. We'll search here. I already have it selected in search, and we'll start it installing. I'll go back down here. So the great thing about Flipboard, and you probably saw in the slides there, I used to have, probably at least 3 or 4 different news sites that I used to go on to check different news. And of course, if I want to go to Facebook and Twitter and things like that, you have to hop in all of these different applications. Some news sources are, you have to go into a web browser and pull them up that way. And Flipboard just does a great job of putting them all in one place, so they're very easy to access, and you can navigate all of them in exactly the same fashion. So I'm just going to tap on the icon here and pull it up, and when you first start it up, it's going to give you this the first time. You'll notice in the upper right it asks if you have an existing account, and what that is for. Let's say you have Flipboard on your iPad and you have it on your iPhone, and then also sometimes you check it on the web when you're at work or something like that. It's just going to keep track of all of your different news sources that you've selected, so they'll be all the same on all those different devices, and they'll all update in exactly the same way. But you don't need to do that in order to start using the app, so we're just going to skip over that for now. And as you can see, it says swipe up to continue, so I'm going to just tap up and do that, and then it's going to give us a few general categories to start. It always has news and technology, and Flipboard picks selected first. Let's say we're interested in sports, so we'll just tap on that. And if we swipe up again, it's going to bring us to another page, give us a few more categories. In this case, let's say I'm interested in science. Tap on that, and that should be enough to get us going. I'm going to hit this Build Your Flipboard button down here. And it's going to give us a few tips. I'm just going to skip through those since I'm going through and explaining everything anyways. And once you're set up, and from now on, once you open the app, this is the first thing you'll see, which is cover stories, which is basically pulling articles from every single news source that you've selected. If you just wanted to quick whip through major headlines and see if something interested you, you can just hop into cover stories and do that. But if you want to drill down a little bit and just see what's going on in the news or in the technology sector, you can do that. And how you do that, we're just going to tap on technology there. And another quick tip there. And so as you can see, it gives us the headline, a little bit of a summary. This isn't the actual article, so this is just a headline and a little bit of information just to see if this is something we would be interested in. And if we are interested in it, we just tap anywhere in the body of the article here, and it will flip over to that article. And now we can view the full article, and we just swipe up in order to change pages. And as we can see down here, there's 6 pages on this. No photos really in it. flip back out here. And so I'm done with that article, and I just hit the back arrow right here, and that's going to pull us back to the main article thread of technology. And as we can see, we can scroll through. And to see if there's any articles that we're interested in. And along the bottom it'll tell you what the source is and also how long ago this article was posted. So, this is a beginner's video, so if you're not tracking with what I'm doing here, I'll actually go back up here, tap out of there. Actually going to fire up the video camera here and show you exactly what I'm doing with my finger. So yeah, I'll pop this up here. And so I've got Flipboard running on another phone here. And so now we're focused in, and you see I've already got a number of news sources selected in here. So I'm just, as you can see, I'm dragging my thumb up and down the screen. And on the phone version, at least, that's how you navigate pretty much everything. You either tap on something or you swipe up and down. And then occasionally hit the back arrow. So let's just go tap into Apple News. And again, if I want to go back, just tap on the arrow, and now I'm back to my news source pages. And so now we're in the Apple News source, and again along the bottom there, it's whatever outlet actually is posting this article. And again, we have our headline and our summary, and then we just swipe up to go through the pages, or to go through the different articles. We find one we're interested in, tap on the main body of it right there, and then it pulls up the full article, tells us how many pages long it is, and then we just swipe up and down to page through it. And then we're going to tap back here. Oop. So, I'm actually going to get rid of that now. And get back into Flipboard on here. Excuse me. So, that's the basic navigation of it. Makes it real simple, real quick to find what you're looking for, to find something you're interested in. We can tap into science here, flip through all the different articles. But let's say we want to find a specific source. So I think in the other or prior here, I was talking about People magazine. So there's a few ways we could get to it. We could, of course, when we're in content here, we can just drag our finger up, scroll it up, find a specific category. Let's see here. Where would that be? Well, rather than actually just page through all of these and try to find it, we can actually just go up to the search bar here, tap into that. It's going to pull up our keyboard, and we can just type people. And then to get rid of the keyboard, you just need to sort of tap into the empty space here. So I'll tap into that. Oops. And it'll bring up top results. People is kind of a common word, so it might find it in a number of different news sources. But obviously when people type in People magazine is probably the number one thing they're actually looking for. So if we tap on that, and we have the feed from People magazine. As we flip through the different articles, you noticed every one of them is from People. And So let's say we like People magazine, and rather than having to search for it every time, we just want it to show up on our main page there every time we log in or fire up the app. So this is the little bookmark symbol here, and so if we tap on this, it says boom, we're subscribed. So now let's back out, go back to our main page, X out here, and hit the back arrow again, and so again we have our main page with cover stories, other sources we've selected when we started, and now People magazine showing up there. So, and again, you can do this magazines, newspapers, pretty much every major publisher you can get through Flipboard. Some of those you may have to subscribe to in order to get full content, but you can usually get at least summary information from the stuff that they're posting, even if they're a paid source. Another cool thing is social media. So if we tap in here, two basically different ways to access the social media. We can search for one through here, and we can also link to social media accounts that we already have. So if I link this to my Twitter or my Facebook or my Instagram, I want to go out to the front page there and fire up Flipboard. It's going to have my Facebook feed right there, and I can just flip through it right on Flipboard, and I don't have to go into the Facebook app in order to access that. Let's back out here, or we can go into here and we can, let's just say, search for a specific person that we're interested in. Someone who's been real popular on Facebook the last year or two is the guy who played Sulu on Star Trek, George Takei. So let's see if we can just access any information on him. Whoops. And it pulls that up. Once again, I kind of got to tap into this white space here to get rid of the keyboard. Oops. Messed it up again. And you'll notice in this screen here, it gives us quite a number of different sources. And pretty much anything or any name or any subject you type in there, it's going to give you a number of different sources for it. So the top one is, anytime you see the Facebook symbol, or not the Facebook, sorry, the Flipboard symbol, this is going to pull information from pretty much every news source it can find. And if I tap into that, as you can see, here's an article he's mentioned from the Huffington Post. Here's one from TV Guide. Another Huffington Post. Another from CNET. One from Wired. Did you get the idea? It's just sort of aggregating all the different sources that relate to George Takei that are current. So back out of that. The reason he's so popular again is kind of his Facebook page. So if we scroll down here, and sorry, a little bit of a hard edit there. I forgot that I did not have this linked to my Facebook account. So in order to access Facebook information in here, you'll need to have it linked to your Facebook account. So, but now that it is linked, as you can see right here, we have George Takei's Facebook page, and we can actually tap right into that now. And there's his feed, everything that he's putting out, one after the other, right there for us. You also notice these pictures are not quite lined up, and occasionally you'll run into this on Flipboard where things don't display in the main screen exactly how you would like, but there's probably no perfect way to get this to work exactly right with every single news source. But what you can do, like you'll notice this picture is a little bit out of line, is just tap in here and it will zoom out for you so that you can see exactly what's there. So you can do that on any photo and even some different text things. And then just tap again to go back. And of course we can go through his feed again. And so we can go back. So you know, as you can see, it's pretty powerful. You know, no matter what it is you're interested in out there, you can usually find find the source on Flipboard and then just have it for you there every single day, or updated by the hour. Let's see here. What else should we show you? We'll go back out to, well, let's go out to people. Tap into that. And as you can see here, I got a picture here. Let's tap into that again. So we zoom out a little bit, and now you notice we have a few different options up top here. And if we tap on these, let's tap on the arrow symbol here. What that symbol is retweet. So if you're hooked up to Twitter, it will automatically repost this to your Twitter account. Cancel out of that. And on the star, you can favorite it in Twitter. Well, let's just say you're not using Twitter, you want to share it somewhere else, then that's what this little rectangle with the arrow in it is. It's the share/save symbol. And as you can see, it'll allow you to go out to email, send it as a text message, post it to Facebook, again on Twitter or Google+, or you can just save it to read later, so you don't have to scroll through and find it again. It'll save them in a spot. It makes it a little easier to get to articles maybe you don't have time to read. Or you can just save this directly to your camera roll where all the other photos on your phone are saved. Copy the link, so if you just want to copy the web address for this article or photo, and then you can just post it into Facebook or wherever else you want. And view on web, let's tap on that real quick. And as you can see, it'll bring out the full version actually from the website, and basically remove any formatting that Flipboard's doing. So if something's not displaying quite right, you don't feel like you're seeing all the information that should be on the screen there, you can always go out to view on web and get the full view of it. But of course every website's going to do that slightly differently, so they're not all going to operate the same, which is again why you're using Flipboard to begin with. And you know, that's pretty much it if you're a beginner. You know, play around with it, go in, find some different sources. As you can see, pretty much any major publication is you're gonna be able to find in here. Pretty much any subject you could possibly be interested in. So, hope you get some use out of it. I will probably post a couple what we call power user videos that just give you a little more in-depth stuff about linking and syncing with different accounts and stuff like that. But hopefully that gets you going. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.